Good evening. We're gonna get started with some more work today, because that's what we do. We work on games. At least that's what I do. Oh no, I'm not streaming that. This is creative. Game development. What are we, Harmony export scripts. So let's update to what we're actually doing. We're not playing games today, or at least not yet today. We're doing real work. Alright. So what do I got on my list today? I've got fix issues with the camera transforms and Harmony. So let's make sure we're all synced up here. Looks like we are. So what I need to do is I need to figure out how to export this guy properly. So we've got Fat Sack. And we've got our export script for that. And we need to export the correct dimensions for this dude. So I'm still just waking up. Basically, why don't we just take a look here? We've got this camera that we're using. Can we rename this to something? Let me just call this master camera. And what I need to do is I need to figure out how to get the basically, this camera is what we're going to be using to move stuff around. So, like, if the camera was at nothing, then this is our transform. And what we want is our camera to be able to look at this guy at different scales and everything. So let's I'm going to enter some values here. I need to figure out exactly how to get this information out of Harmony to figure out what transform we need to use. And Harmony has a scripting system. The problem I've encountered with that scripting system is a lot of the time you can't actually get the information that you need out of it. It's pretty frustrating. Such as, I want to know where an object is. It just doesn't exist. Alright. So we've got our export script. We're also going to need to open up the XStage file. So what we want to do is we want to first look at if we can get like any camera stuff. Because I mean, obviously we've got a peg here for our camera. And we need to, let's look for 11.11. Alright, it's negative 11.11. So we've got this column here which has, alright, I need to start writing some of this down. So it's inside of the column, we've got this path 3D, and then we have points, which is an array of points, and then we have point, and on that point we have value, and that is x, y, z. We've got a velocity and all these other things which we don't need. So where is this referenced? This is referenced inside of the thing. So we have module, we have type equals peg, and then we have the name, which is going to be master camera peg, and the position doesn't matter there. But then we've got these adders, and then under adders we have position, and under that we have adder 3D path, and then we have column equals the so this is under column, and this is going to be name equals the like ATV dash blah, and this will have the column again here. So we need to grab the master peg thing, and its 3D object is going to have, it's going to have this adder. Is it at 3D path? It's adder 3D path. Right. Position adder 3D path. Alright. Select that. Do we have any other information about, we have master camera, which is a module. So if we've got this module, type equals camera, and then name equals master camera, we have adders, and under adders we have, looks like FOV, and we have val equals 41.1, and we also have under offset, we've got X, Y, and Z, and then we have val equals stuff. And what I found basically is with Harmony, I haven't been able to get the information out of the actual objects in the scene, but I have been able to parse the XStage file and reliably find the information in their save file format. Which sucks. It's actually not fun at all doing that sort of thing. Because I'd much rather be using their scripting system to get that information, to be like, hey, where is this thing in the scene? Thank you. But alas, they are not actually, the information just doesn't seem to be there. So let's take a look. So the first thing we want to do is we want to say actually render to false, so we can actually iterate on this thing pretty quick. And let's find our information. What is this garbage I've got here? This is get information. All right. All right, so we have number of layers in the timeline. So I think what I'm gonna do is maybe I can actually do a few things here. And maybe I can actually make a helpful function here. So it's like find node recursively, or find nodes recursively. And we'll see if this actually does what we want. We're going to basically go through the array hierarchy. I'm going to do a little bit of exploration on exactly what this stuff does. Kind of a recursive search. Maybe I've been doing this a little bit more hard mode than I need to. Alright, so we want to see like if node types length is greater than 0, then we want to discard all things that we're going to pass in some filters, which would be node names and node types. So we'll be able to pass in like find this node by name, find this by specific name, or by like anything that matches this type. So we're going to grab the type here. We're going to say like, is there a to uppercase function? What's the syntax for that? Just to uppercase? And of course this is inside of a loop, so let's use inside of loop. Alright, so if type equals node types sub j, so var found equals false, found equals true, and break. If not found, then we will continue. Alright, and if node names that length is greater than 0, let's do the same thing. We want the subnode name, which we've got, so we're actually going to do another uppercase thing here. So like var check name, we're going to say equals subnode name dot to uppercase, and for var j equals 0, j is less than node names dot length j plus plus. If check name equals node names sub j, found equals true, and break. And then of course, if not found, continue. And we need a var found. It's false. Otherwise, yeah, okay. Otherwise, what we do is we're going to what? We're adding the display name to this, which is subnode name. So we're going to do array.pushDisplay. We're also going to have only grab first. And we're going to say like if only grab first. Whoops. Well, we don't want to continue here. We want to like recurse. So basically, we're going to do a return with these things. No, we don't want to we want to continue, but yeah, okay. What exactly do we want to do here? I guess we'd say var match equals true, and we'd just say like match equals false. So if match, then go ahead and add it. And if we do have a match, so if only grab first, then we will just go ahead and return. And this will do depth first, so it's going to go down a hierarchy to grab whatever the hell is there. But that's fine. And then let's actually make a few helper functions. So let's do like find node by name. So let's just do node name. So we need a var array equals new array, and this will be our name, our root search name. So basically just calling find recursively with the array and the node name. No, we need a node names array. Var names equals new array, and names dot push node name. Let's say we need the root node as the start node, and then we need the node names, so names, and then we need a new array here, which is empty, and then only grab first is true, and if array.length is greater than 0, return array sub 0, otherwise return null. And let's do find node by type and node type. And we'll do the same sort of thing. So we'll have a types here. We'll have types.push node type. We'll just pass in types here and a new array start. And again here we're going to do find nodes by name. And find nodes by type, and we'll return the actual array. And we'll see if we can actually, you know, simplify some of our logic here in our script, because we're doing a whole bunch of crazy shit. If I If I don't have to actually parse the X stage file like I was just griping about, my life would be a lot easier. And you know, this is the kind of easier, like, instead of having to drive to the store, you can just like walk into your living room and get food. Should be pretty awesome. But then again, having like a store in your living room would suck, because there's a lot of weird people at the store. I would know. I used to work at one. This is by nodes, by type. And let's have like a just get all nodes. Just like pass in like new array for both of these things and false, and just like be like, yeah, get everything and all that. And again, let's do like our 2 uppercase stuff here, because we like to be consistent. Alright, so what we're going to do here to start with is we're going to call get all nodes. So var nodes equals get all nodes. I'm going to like for I equals 0, I is less than nodes, dot length, I plus plus, and we're going to print out every single node. So these are the node names. So we're just going to do message log dot trace found node of name nodes survive. And can we actually get like the type of the node then again? It's node.type and then name. Alright. So var type equals, this will be var node name. Do we already have a node name? Just make sure we don't stomp on everything. Man, you'd think I'd know how to type after so many damned years. But no, I don't know anything. Cool. So this should just print out basically everything, and it'll tell us if these, we're looking for these cameras and master cameras and these columns to pop up. So maybe I don't have to hunt through the frickin' X stage file. This is just an experiment to see like if I'm just insane and did a massive workaround a month ago because I had to, or because I wanted to. Alright, so 395 has a parse error. 395 is this, and it does have a parse error. And I've got this little re-import scripts button here. Usually you can't iterate this nicely. We're going with ASR1. And this is usually reference couldn't find variable display name. Yeah, Harmony doesn't work very well with scripting stuff. It's kind of unfortunate. So let's see, we had display name. Yeah, we don't want the display name, we want the subnode name. Harmony doesn't work well with dialog boxes and scripts. So like there'll be an error in the script and it just won't show up. Alright, so let's snag all this stuff here. Alright, so we found Bitey idle, top slash Bitey idle. Whoa, those are not the groups over here. sdig, idle, rigging. We've got the master camera and master camera peg of type camera. I'm not seeing the unique names though, like the not seeing this name here. So we did find the master camera peg. Like they are there, so the nodes are in the node list. Okay, that's cool. Now let us see if we can fetch the things off of it. So we've got publish under tab, camera P. So we have the peg, so we want the adder's position, adder 3D path, and then the column. So what we're looking for is, we found everything of this specific type. Cool. Alright. So this will print out all the nodes. But what we want to do is we want to grab the camera node, and that's going to be master camera peg. And we're going to say get, it's going to be find node by name. So we're going to do var camera node name, and the camera node equals find node by name. And that should return. So if camera node is not null, then we'll be able to print it out. Otherwise, let's do like a big message log.trace did not find camera. Maybe I should zoom in a little bit so maybe people can see what the hell I'm even doing. So if the camera node was found, we're going to do message log.trace found camera. And let's pull up this documentation real quick. What do we have on these nodes? We've got type, number of nodes, subnode, get attr, source node, double at frame, get node, get attr list. Well, these are the attrs. If we look inside of the xstage file, you can see there are attributes here, and we're trying to grab the position attr 3D path. So we need the we're going to want to get this. These are going to be the attributes. Is going to be node.get attr list, and we've got the camera node name, and we want the add frame to be 0, and we want the attr name to be null. So if we just do this, then we should have all the attributes. So let's do like a loop over them. And it's a queue list, so that means certain things. We're going to have to look at like a queue list size. Alright, so it's actually size. So this is kind of the annoying part about working with scripting in Harmony is, well, let's try using it as an array of JavaScript objects. we have a source attribute wrapper, which they're not giving us the definition of what an attribute wrapper has on it, so we're going to have to discover what it has. Turns a source attribute that represents the module's selected attributes. Selected attributes? Well, I just want all the attributes. Alright, so we're going to have var attribute equals attributes sub I. So let's just see if we can even print any of these things out real quick. Did not find the camera. Well, that's interesting. Didn't find the camera, you say? Well, we were looking for master camera peg. We're going to need the actual name of this thing. And the name is actually top/master camera peg. So in our script, we actually want in the node names, we are going to change the check name. It's going to need to be the index of, and I think we've got it here. So this is kind of a trick we can do, is we can basically split based on the backslash and then do a pop on it, and that'll give us the last element in the array. The last thing being the simple name, because we've got the name which is top/master camera dash peg, so this will just give us master camera dash peg. Good morning, Lucas. It is 12:30 in the morning over here on the west coast of the United States, and we have just started work just a little while ago. So hopefully your day is going well. Pre-exam stream. Very good. Hopefully you're not losing sleep over watching me stream. I know Synachron yesterday had a midterm or something. Alright, we found the camera. And then we didn't print anything out. Alright, cool. Alright, so we found camera. So attributes.length was probably nothing, so we need to like get attributes.size. And then we probably have to do .at. So this is one of the issues with scripting stuff in Harmony, is you're writing stuff in JavaScript, but you're interacting with stuff that's made in Qt, and Qt uses its own. You forgot only sound. What? Oh, is the stream all sorts of screwed up for you? Yeah. Yeah, we're streaming out at 3,400 kilobits per second, so that can cause some issues. I can't really lower that because then you can't see anything on the screen that I do, or I have to work in like such a big font that I feel like I'm working with a magnifying glass. So I'm sorry about that, but I can't really do a whole heck of a lot. I'm not a Twitch partner, so I can't like yell at Twitch to multi-stream lower qualities for me. Because we're dealing with these Qt objects which are not the same as JavaScript objects. So we're going to have some problems with that. Like we can't index into arrays like we want to. I like how we're just getting like a zoom in on Fatsack's crotch because that's just where. All right, result of expression attributes dot size undefined is not a function. So what is this thing complaining about? Its attributes dot size get attr list is not. Alright, the camera node is going to be the actual name of this thing. Is that true? Okay, so this, yeah, I was referring to the wrong piece of logic there. Attributes.size is not a function. Alright, so we're just gonna have to go full on trace mode. Alright, so attributes is source goal attribute wrapper equals what in the hell is all this? Alright, so it looks like we have all these bool wrappers, position 3D attribute wrappers, all this stuff on the actual thing, but this attributes.size is not correct. So what? It should be a queue list of nodes. So like supposedly we should be able to call attributes.size on this thing. In .add. Well, it's always frustrating when the documentation is, it's like, okay, well, how the hell do I do this from JavaScript? You know, like, what is even available for me to call? Well, let's see if we can just poke around in the dark and see if we find anything that we're looking for. So we've got keys that are like numbers there. So if all those keys are things that we can use, the length is 29. Okay, so alright, so attributes.length does work. Okay, so attributes.length, and then we need attributes. Is it attributes.atI or attributes sub I? It's a zero-based index, so this is interesting. 412. Oh, Adam's source rate is higher than mine. His source resolution is higher than mine. Well, I'm transmitting it like, 2500 by 2400 or whatever. So I highly doubt he's got more actual resolution than I do. The bit rate is really what probably matters. Like, the bit rate is how many bytes you're actually sending every second for the stream. I don't know. Is peanut butter and jam sandwiches? I mean, that's not something people eat. I mean, to be honest, you don't have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches unless you're like 5 years old most of the time. Like, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and like grilled cheese sandwiches is totally like kid stuff, which is why I eat them all the time. But it is a massive over exaggeration. I think it's just something that people find interesting about like American food. I mean, it's just a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Why do you need like a recipe for it? It's just like pretty much you just slap whatever the hell you have in the fridge on a slice of bread, and there you go. It's food. Type error. So let's see what the type of this length is. Type of len is number. Alright. Now, see, I'd really like it if it gave me like type error. It's like type error is type error. Like, great. Well, tell me where the hell the type error actually was. And blah 1 and blah 2. So the type error is happening trying to convert it to a string. What? That makes no sense. We should be able to convert any object into a string. This is fucking JavaScript. Yeah, we can't do it. Yeah, well, that's because you shouldn't put banana slices on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because you're not my dad who would do stupid shit like that. I mean, not to be offensive or anything, but that sounds like that sounds like something you give some like kid because you don't have enough money to buy cake or something. You just give them like slap some butter on it with some sprinkles and be like, "Here you go, you little bastard." You know, like what sounds like this? I'm saying if you got fairy bread, I'm calling Lucas poor. Also, welcome back, Santa Crown. Hopefully your midterm or whatever went alright. Or final, or I forget exactly what test it was. Just that you had something that was going on. So we're trying to convert this thing to a string. We're not able to do that. So we've got to figure out what the hell is even on this element. It's a proxy element, so we actually need to figure out what is even on this attribute. So like var key in attribute. Let's see what's on the attribute itself. Let's see if we can even print that out. Message log. Message log is not a function. Yeah, that's correct. It's message log.trace. That's a function. Midterm. It was meh. Alright. Alright, so now we're actually getting something off of this object. Jesus. Alright. Don't tell me your life story there, JavaScript. I just need to know what happened last weekend. Alright, so this guy has destroyed, delete later, keyword, bool value, int value, double value, text value. Ah, shit. Alright, so is there a type on this thing? Like, I need to know what type of object it is, because obviously we've got like double attribute wrappers and bool attribute wrappers. We want to know what type it actually is. And of course, they've got like all these like, okay, you can fetch the value out of it, like a, you know, it's a variant, but they don't have the fucking type on the variant. Like, this is the first rule of variants is you have the actual type that you can get off of them. It's like I want to know what damn type this thing is. Like, do I literally have to do a type up with source double attribute wrapper and crap like that to figure out what type this variant is? If so, I can complain about it. Yeah, Karakan, what's on the list for today? Today we will be fixing issues with the camera transforms in Harmony. Basically, if you've got a camera node here and we want to move that around so that our scene transform changes so we can zoom in and zoom out and all that. Right now Adam can't do this because it fucks up all the rigging layers when he does it, so literally like he'll be exporting this picture right here of Fat Sack, but the rigging is going to be all down here with tiny Fat Sack in the wrong spot. So what we have to do is figure out the transform information that he's using and transform the rigging stuff, because Harmony's not doing that for us. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to hopefully start adding in support for those normal maps and emissive maps. And we're pretty much going to be working inside of Harmony for the first, like, how long the stream goes, making editor, better tools for Adam, so he's not going to be all angry. And yeah, Senecron, I'm going to try to see if type of actually gives me, what I want here. But we're dealing with a cross between Qt objects that are in C++ land and JavaScript objects, which are in JavaScript land, and it's kind of bullshit. Like, I wasn't able to change attribute into a string because even though I'm in JavaScript land, it's still not a true JavaScript object. We're going over all that lighting stuff earlier today, and we're trying to figure out the best way to like improve his workflow and simplify things. I think it looks really cool. And that's really like what we're trying to do here, is find a way to capture his art style and all that. And it's really something that we can use. So let's see, the attribute type is object. Yeah, attribute type is object. Fucking amazing, right? Like. What was your question mark about Java? Just like JavaScript? So the attribute type is not that. Let's see. Alright, Senecron, thanks for checking in, and good luck with the rest of your week. So the other thing is basically, what is this keyword thing? Let's see what attribute.keyword is. What a bunch of something. If only things could be easy, right? Keyword is enable 3D. Okay, so it's just trash. Well, why don't we just see what all the values are? So, I don't know if anybody caught my stream last night when I was playing Pharaoh. That was pretty fun, but it got really pathetic after a while because I got stuck on like the third fucking mission and couldn't get anywhere. It was, I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. I just couldn't do it. It was amazing. It's like, man, I remember playing this when I was like 10, and this wasn't hard. I must be just an idiot now. I just obviously was just missing something awful. So we got the text value. Type of Linda's number, blah, one bool value false. I mean, do I even have the name of the damn thing? Like, I don't have the name of the attribute wrapper. Like, what? Like, I